Welcome back to the Weekly Insider. This episode is just me, as you can see. Tyler, it was recording. We had some recording time issues, but he'll be back next week for sure. And we plan on doing a more consistent schedule. But before we hop into this week's Weekly Insider, I want to let you guys know that we have a Twitter. Go check that out. And we also have a Pick'em League. It's completely free on ESPN. It's going to be in the top of the description, so go check that out. So, how this episode's going to work today, just like normal, going to go through each game, pick who we think is going to win. I'm also going to do the week 1 recap. So, obviously we're going into week 2. I'm going to go over like week 1. I have some stuff that we're going to talk about next week for week 2 recap, but for this week I'm going to keep it short and simple. Basically, I'm going to go over each game, like who won what. Talk about our Pick'em League. And then I got top fantasy performers in each skill position. And then we're going to have me and Tyler are going to have one player each for surprise performances, like players that we thought did well or players that we thought looked really good. So the way that we're going to be posting now is going to be every Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday's episode will be the recap, so previous week recap. And Thursday morning will be our picks for the Pick'em League. So yeah, look out for that. We're going to have 2 videos per week, Wednesday, Thursday, recap, and the picks for each game. So let's hop right into it. So real quick, go over week 1 matchups. Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Dallas Cowboys 31-29. Philadelphia Eagles beat the Falcons 32-6. The Steelers beat the Buffalo Bills 23-16. The Bengals beat Minnesota 27-24. The 49ers beat the Lions 41-33. The Cardinals beat the Titans 38-13. The Seahawks beat the Colts 28-16. The Chargers beat Washington 20-16. The Carolina Panthers beat the Jets 19-14. The Houston Texans beat the Jaguars 37-21. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Browns 33-29. The Miami Dolphins beat the Patriots 17-16. The New Orleans Saints beat the Green Bay Packers 38-3. The Broncos beat the Giants 27-13. The Rams beat the Bears 34-14. And the Raiders beat the Ravens 33-27. We had, I think it was it 2 games? 2 games went into overtime. Yeah, 2 games went into overtime. Unbelievable. Bengals won. That was a great win for them. And the fucking Raiders. Jeez, I couldn't even think of it. The Raiders won in overtime. Super great game. Most surprising game of the week, in my opinion, was the Houston Texans beating the Jaguars. Tyrod Taylor looked great, so that was good for them. And then I don't think there's any really other surprises. The Eagles looked really good. There was a big surprise. The Packers got absolutely smoked. They played like absolute trash, and it was not pretty for the Packers. Sorry, you fellow cheeseheads, but it was not good. The New Orleans Saints took a dump right on the entire Green Bay organization. So that was a bad game. But other than that, not a bad week of football. I'm just glad it's back. So there's the little recap of the games. Let's go over fantasy players. We're going to go over 3 players in each position. So for top fantasy performers, we had Kyler Murray with 33.6 points. We had Patrick Mahomes with 33.3 points. And Jameis Winston with 29.62 points. The points might be a little different depending on which league you're in, but based off of our scoring, these were our top 3. And it's basic PPR, but some of the settings we have are a little different, so might be tiny bit different. Like the scores might not be the exact same for most standard PPR leagues, but the gist of it is they're all the same. So running backs, got my boy Christian McCaffrey with 27.7 points, and then we had Jamal Williams out of Detroit with 25, and then we had Joe Mixon with 25. And surprisingly, and I don't think this is sustainable. So if you have both of these players, or if you have one of these players, it honestly almost seems like a split backfield a little bit. But DeAndre Swift had 24.4 points. So the two Detroit Lion running backs had basically 25 fantasy points, which is insane. It's not sustainable, especially with that offense. But because DeAndre Swift is their main back and Jamal Williams is a very good pass-catching back, I could see them both doing well because of how often the Detroit Lions are going to have to throw the ball. So I really do I could see them like being consistent as like viable flexes. Granted, you're going to start DeAndre Swift no matter what. Every week you're going to start DeAndre Swift if you have him. But I could see Jamal Williams being a flex player like throughout the year. And it's weird to say that, especially on the Detroit Lions when they're not like that great. But I don't think they're going to be averaging 25 points. You get what I'm saying, though. He's a viable flex option, I think, in my opinion. So, all right, let's hop into wide receivers. We had Amari Cooper with 38.9 points. We had Tyreek Hill with 37.1 points. And then we had Deebo Samuel with 31.9 points. Tight ends, a little shocking. I felt like he was going to have a big week, but like Rob Gronkowski coming in first with 29 points. Darren Waller, absolute beast, had 26.5. TJ Hawkinson had 25.7. And in our league, I like I said, we're only doing 3, but this one I thought was interesting. Since TJ Hawkinson had 25.7, Travis Kelce had 25.6 in our league. So I just thought that was interesting that he beat him out by 0.1 point. So yeah, those are your top fantasy performers of the week. And like I said, we're going to do some surprise performances or players that we want to talk about after the week. This week for me, I'm going to talk about Zach Wilson. I'm not sure who Tyler was going to talk about, but I'm talking about Zach Wilson. I love Zach Wilson. I think he's going to be an amazing quarterback. He just looked so confident or comfortable. Sorry, he looked comfortable in the pocket. Like if you watch the game, he looked pretty comfortable. In the beginning, it was a little shaky. Granted, it was his first NFL start in the regular season. But yeah, he looked comfortable in the pocket. He showed that he has good confidence in his decision making. Like he made good throws. He threw the ball very accurately, and he just overall threw the ball very well. There was a play in the third quarter. It was to Corey Davis for a touchdown. He was on the run and threw I don't want to say perfect pass, but it was a near perfect pass to him in the end zone. And it was just nice to see him on the run throw that ball very accurately. And a couple things I got to say about him, like bad, not necessarily bad, but things that need to be improved. He had a very sloppy interception in the second quarter. And then he almost lost a fumble, which it's going to happen. But thankfully, he did only have one turnover in the game, so it was pretty good for them. Despite losing, though, I think the Jets have a very promising quarterback going forward. I really like Zach Wilson. I think he showed a lot of talent, and like, there's a reason he was drafted, I want to say third overall. Third or second. Sorry, I don't remember. But there's a reason he was drafted in the first round, early pick. Like, overall, I was very impressed with Zach Wilson, and definitely a player to keep your eye out on. So, now that brings us to our picks. Tyler is not here, but he sent me his picks for the week. So I'm going to read those off with mine as well. And I do want to shout out. So again, join our Pick'em League. I encourage you guys to join. It's completely free. It's just a fun way for me to interact with people and kind of see where, like, some like people that watch the videos, see where they pick games or how they pick games, and also it's interesting to see who does the best. And I do plan on shouting out whoever has like the best week. I plan on shouting them out in the videos. However, this week, I can't shout anybody out because literally every single person in our Pick'em League. Right now we only have 6 people, so let's bump the number up. But there's 6 of us in there, and we all went 7-9. Every single one of us went 7-9. Granted, we probably didn't all pick the same games, but I think that's so like wild that we all went 7-9. So yeah, we all went the same. Shout out to everybody in the group. Appreciate you all for joining. And then again, let's get that number up. All right. But yeah, without any further ado, let's pick these games. First game, Thursday night, we have the New York Giants at the Washington Redskins. Washington is coming off a tough loss against the Chargers, although they did lose Fitzpatrick, which kind of stinks. You know, he's a good player. He's not. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's not like a Russell Wilson or a top elite quarterback, but he can play football. He's really good. That's why he signed a deal with the Washington football team. So I'm gonna go with Washington. They're gonna have a bounce back week. But yeah, I think their defense is really good. They're going to step up against a not-so-hot Giants offense. So I'm going to go with Washington, and I believe Tyler went with Washington as well. So, all right. Next game, we have the Bengals at the Bears. I think the Bengals are going to take this one. The Bengals came off a very big overtime win against the Minnesota Vikings, and their receiving core is so good with Joe Burrow in that pocket. I think they looked so dominant, and it was awesome to watch. And Jamar Chase can catch a football. We did learn that over the weekend. It was fantastic. And he looked really good. He looked comfortable, and I'm happy that he's playing. And Joe Burrow and him, that connection, they've had it, and it's only going to get better from here. So I'm going with the Bengals in this one. Tyler actually went with the Bears. So Tyler went with the Bears there. This game, Houston at Cleveland. Listen, Houston, I don't know what to think, but I know they're not going to be the Browns. I'm going with the Browns. Browns need a win. I mean, it is only week 2, so I don't mean to say like need as if like it's do or die, but like they came off a really tough loss against KC when they should have won it. They had a good lead. They were dominating in the first half, and they just kind of let it slip through their fingers. So the Browns, I think they're going to obliterate the Houston Texans. And I think, Tyler has the Browns as well. So we're on the same page there. Okay, next game we have the Rams versus the Colts. The Colts didn't really do anything to impress me at all, really. They only put up, I think it was like 14 points or 17 points against a not-so-good Seattle defense. So, and the Rams just looked amazing. Like, the Rams were the Rams. Everything you'd expect from like a top 3, easily top 3 defense, and Matt Stafford in the pocket. So I'm going with the Rams for sure, and Tyler also went with the Rams. All right, Bills versus Dolphins. Dolphins coming off a hot win, beat Belichick in Gillette Stadium. However, and the Bills coming off a tough loss. However, I'm going with Buffalo. I think this is a revenge game. Not a revenge game, I don't want to say that, but I think this is a bounce-back game, and they're going to come out just throwing fire. I think Josh Allen is going to step up big. He had a very bad game against the Steelers, and the Steelers played a very good game. It was very disappointing to watch that game because the Bills came out swinging and then ended up choking it. But I'm going with Buffalo, and Tyler is going with Buffalo as well. I think it's going to be a blowout, if I'm being honest. I think it's going to be a blowout. I think the Bills are going to, they kind of needed that kick to, okay, maybe we do need to, really, really try or something. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going with Buffalo. So is Tyler. So, next game, we got the Patriots at the Jets. I'm going to go with the Patriots. It's probably the safer pick. Although I could see the Jets winning. I'm not going to lie. The Patriots didn't look that amazing, although the Miami's defense is pretty good. The Jets is lacking compared to the Miami Dolphins. So, but I'm going with the Patriots. I feel like it's definitely the safer bet. And Tyler is also going with the Patriots. So, okay, next game we got the 49ers at the Eagles. The Eagles looked really good. However, San Francisco looks better. I'm going with the 49ers. Garoppolo looked pretty good. No complaints there. And their running backs, that running back situation in San Fran, it's always been, Mostert, I hope your surgery goes well. That sucks. But that whole backfield, they got 5 running backs. So I think running backs are going to step up and they're going to be fine. So I'm going with the 49ers there, and Tyler is also going with the 49ers. Raiders at the Steelers. The Raiders coming off a big win against a great team, although the Ravens were missing Marcus Peters, which is a big key to that defense. I'm going to go with the Steelers, though. The Steelers offensively didn't look great at all. Their offense didn't do much rushing at all, but they did have some success in the pass game a little bit. Their defense, though, looked really good. So, yeah, I'm going with the Steelers against the Raiders. And Tyler is also going with the Steelers. So then we got the Saints at Carolina. I'm going with the Carolina Panthers. All right. I am high on Sam Darnold. I'm high on the weapons he's got, and I love Christian McCaffrey. It's my boy. That's my favorite running back in the NFL. I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers, and although that might be a risky pick, if it happens, it happens, and there you go. If I get it wrong, I get it wrong. So I'm going with the Carolina Panthers here. Tyler is actually going with the Saints. Next game is the Denver Broncos at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville, they're going to start 0-2. It's unfortunate it is. Trevor Lawrence is going to have another loss. I'm going with Denver Bronco. Teddy Bridgewater looked great. That defense looked great. Granted, it was against the Giants offense, so what real sample size do we have? But, yeah, I'm going with the Broncos here. Broncos look great. I keep saying great. Broncos look good. They look confident. I'm going with the Broncos here. And so is Tyler. Next game is the Minnesota Vikings at the Cardinals. Minnesota Vikings, tough loss in overtime against the Bengals. Cardinals coming off an extremely hot win over the Tennessee Titans. I'm going with the Cardinals. I think their defense just keeps that momentum going, and they're going to play with the confidence that they had throughout that entire game against Tennessee. So I'm going with the Cardinals. And again, their offense is just explosive. But yeah, I'm going with the Cardinals here. The Vikings, however, is what Tyler's choosing. Tyler went with the Vikings. I'm a little surprised. I would like to hear why, but I'm not necessarily surprised. Vikings are still a good team. They just had a tough loss. But on the app, I'll talk about this real quick. The app, 92% of people that have played in this, and this goes by statistics throughout the whole ESPN app. But on the Pick'em League, 92% picked the Cardinals, which is kind of wild. I think people are sleeping on the Vikings, and I don't think this is going to be a blowout by any means, but I'm picking the Cardinals just because I think they have a lot of momentum. But don't be shocked if the Vikings win, and that's why Tyler picked them. I think that so. Tyler picked the Vikings, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. So next game we have the Falcons at the Buccaneers. The Falcons look terrible. I don't think they have any identity yet. So I'm going with the Buccaneers here, and so is Tyler. Next game, we got the Dallas Cowboys at the Chargers. This is a tough game. This is a really tough game for me. I'm going to lean with the Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to start off 2-0, start off hot. Justin Herbert, I like him a lot. Their weapons are good. Keenan Allen, consistent as always. Mike Williams looked good. And then, of course, Austin Eckler out of the backfield. You could arguably say the same. You got Prescott, and then obviously you have Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and actually Michael Gallup did get hurt, but they have Cedric, I think his name is. I'm probably butchered it, but it's all right. They have a lot of weapons on the Dallas Cowboys team as well. However, I think the Chargers defense is a little better. So, granted, the Cowboys defense did look good. So this is going to be a close game for me. but I am going to lean with the Chargers. And Tyler has gone with the Chargers. Next game is the Titans at the Seahawks. I'm going to go with the Seahawks. The Titans, I don't think they kind of just got beaten to death by the Cardinals defense. And they're going to have a little more success on offense against the Seahawks because they're not as good as the Cardinals defense. But I still think the firepower that the Seattle Seahawks offense has is going to outperform the Titans offense. So I'm going with the Seahawks here. And Tyler actually went with the Titans here, which, again, I'm not shocked at all. I think Tannehill and that offense need to have a bounce-back week. And so, that's what they got to do. They got to win. So I'm not surprised if they do it, but I'm going with the Seahawks. Tyler went with the Titans. All right, then we got the Sunday night game. We have the Chiefs at the Ravens. I don't even know. The way the Ravens played. Actually, I can't say that because the Ravens did play well. They just kind of threw the game at the end. But, yeah, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. Tyler also went with the Chiefs. Yeah, they're going to start off 2-0. So, and then we have a Monday night game of the Lions at the Packers. You got to go with the Packers. It was just a bad week. Nobody could have predicted that. Okay, actually, you could have predicted that they lost, but nobody could have predicted that they were going to get slaughtered. There's a big difference. You can say, oh yeah, I think New Orleans is going to win. But you didn't think the New Orleans was going to win by 35. Realistically, and if you did, you were either talking out of your ass or you just think you know everything, and you don't. You got lucky with one pick. So, I'm going with the Packers against the Lions. Pretty favorable matchup. Green Bay Packers are going to come back. They have a great offense. It's week 1. Don't overreact. It's pretty self-explanatory. And Tyler's also going with the Packers. So, yeah, that's my picks and Tyler's picks for the week. Like I said, and if you made it this far, I appreciate you and love you. But, yeah, join our Pick'em League. Top of the description. If you like the faster paced episodes, again, if you made it this far, let me know. Drop a comment below if you like these faster paced episodes, because I kind of enjoy them too, where I just kind of keep talking. But yeah, I appreciate you all for watching. You guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. Enjoy week 2 of the NFL season, and I will see you guys next week on the Weekly Insider. Remember, we're going to be posting Wednesdays and Thursdays. Wednesdays are our recap, where we talk about each game, and then we're going to talk about top fantasy performers, and then we're going to talk about surprise performances. So we might include more segments as well. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below, please. I love reading comments, or I love getting suggestions. I don't really get them that often at all, so I greatly appreciate some. But yeah, other than that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next week on Wednesday and Thursday. 2 episodes of the Weekly Insider coming at you from here on out. Peace.